Paleo. So today I'm going to do a demo on how to make zucchini fries with fry sauce. This is something that I eat, kind of like when I'm Netflix and chilling, when I want something filling, but like not that I have to feel guilty about. So here we go. You start with zucchini cut into fries. I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to do that. You basically just take zucchinis, cut them in half, and then cut each half in either 6 or 8 pieces, depending on how big the zucchini is. You get a little piece that looks like that. The recipe that I have in the Possible Diet is 3 cups, and that's about a shake container, just so you know. That's about how much it is. So what we do first is add 4 tablespoons of oil. Just so happens that my shake measurement is 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to put 2 of these. Ooh, this oil is a little light. It seems like a lot of oil, but it pays off in the oven. So you just want to toss those a little bit. Make sure they're all evenly coated. And then you want to make your topping. And your topping you want to mix in a separate jar so that it is all evenly distributed. So that topping starts with 3 tablespoons of Panko-style seasoned breadcrumbs. I would say don't waste time trying to look for low-carb breadcrumbs. You can if you want to. You can sometimes order them online. But I use Italian seasoned or pretty much whatever's available at the store. Today, all they had were gluten-free panko breadcrumbs. But you want to make sure that they're seasoned because it just like adds a little bit. And again, this is maybe 20 grams of carbs, but to me it's worth it because it just like gives it a little So then you want to add 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese to that mixture. Half a teaspoon of garlic salt. I love Jane's Crazy Mixed Up Garlic Seasoning, but you can just use regular garlic salt if you want. Ooh, getting down to the last dregs of the Jane's here. And then half a teaspoon of garlic salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. With my garlic. Half a teaspoon of fresh ground pepper or lemon pepper. I like my Frontier lemon pepper blend. Half a teaspoon of dried parsley. And then I use Frontier Co-op's Green Harvest seasoning. When I was dieting heavily, I put this on everything. It just adds like a little oomph. It's herbs, veggies, nutritional yeast, and superfood greens. So it's a teeny bit salty, but it's not too salty. That's why there's only half a teaspoon of garlic salt in this. I mean, to be honest, sometimes I don't even measure it. I just sprinkle it over everything. So now that you have your seasoning mix right here, just give it a stir. Oh, preheat your oven to 450. One thing I love about these is that you can make them in the toaster oven, which is awesome. So sprinkle this mix over it. You might not use all the mix, depending on how much zucchini you have and how you cut it. I'm only going to use probably half the mix, and then I'll see how it looks in the pan. It's okay to eyeball it. Yeah, that looks good. So depending on how you've cut your zucchini and how much surface area you have, you might use all the seasoning. If not, just store it in the fridge for the next batch of fries. But you want it to look about like that. Not breaded, but just kind of sprinkled. And as you can see, I know I used a lot of oil and a lot of breadcrumbs, but a lot of it is left in the pan. So don't feel oh my God, calories, it's crazy. Spread out your zucchini fries in the pan as best you can. And we bake these at high heat because we want that oil to like really crisp up, get those panko crumbs nice and crunchy. You can give it a little extra sprinkle. And they should look about like that when you put them in the oven. This is going to take a minute to preheat, so I'm going to put this in. These bake for terrible. I think they bake for 20 minutes. I'll put the recipe in there, but I don't have the other side of this yet. And then while these are baking, I'm going to show you how to make the fry sauce. Okay, now we're ready to make fry sauce. So I wanted something that I could dip vegetables into that was not too high fat, not too high carb, that had a reasonable amount of protein in it. So I tried to make a sauce that was sort of like fry sauce, which is basically like mayonnaise and ketchup. I use Siggi's non-fat plain yogurt in so many different things. One of the things I love is Savory Spice Shop, which is one of my favorite spice shops in Boulder, Colorado. They make this kit called Dip Dip Hooray. And it comes with all of these dips and all of these recipes for how to make dips. And sometimes I'll just substitute non-fat plain Greek yogurt or Siggi's for the sour cream and the cheese and all the other things that like the cream cheese that go in these dips. Just as a way of changing up my routine, making sure I'm getting protein in it. Like one of the things I love so much about Siggi's is like all these no's. No corn syrup, no stevia, no gelatin, no artificial flavorings. It's great. Anyway, fry sauce. So this sauce kind of tastes like ketchup and cocktail sauce and mayonnaise all mixed together. And I use it to drizzle on top of the zucchini fries. I'll use it to dip crudités into, but whatever you choose to do, it's all good. So we're going to start with a half a cup of ketchup. And I use part ketchup and part tomato sauce and part tomato paste. So looks like I'm running low on ketchup. So I might be using a little more of those today than I originally planned. All right, looks like I've got about a 1/4 cup of ketchup in this jar. So if you only have a 1/4 cup of ketchup, you can add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and more tomato paste and more tomato sauce. Probably should have checked that ketchup before this. So I'm just going to fill this up with enough tomato sauce to make a half a cup. And then I'll taste it and add the apple cider vinegar later. Can't believe I didn't double check that. So a half a cup of ketchup and a half a cup of tomato sauce. Fortunately, I'm using all the tomato sauce. Yay! To make it a little bit thicker, I add a tablespoon of tomato paste. Might add a little bit more since we're running low on ketchup. A teaspoon of powdered erythritol or monk fruit sweetener. So also out of powdered erythritol. So I'm going to use these Lancanto monk fruit extract drops, but I'm going to add it at the end after everything is mixed. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. The important thing when you're learning what you like is just to taste things as you go. 2 teaspoons of red chili sauce or sriracha. Use rooster sauce. My friend Kimmy once said that she had never seen anyone with as many condiments in her fridge as I had, because I just like to mix things up. That's where my Frankenstein salad dressing came from. 2 teaspoons prepared horseradish. This is just hot cream horseradish. It's pretty basic. I like this because it gives the sauce a little bit of a bite. 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I use Primal Kitchen's mayonnaise made with avocado oil, but I don't really have like a preference on a specific mayonnaise. It's the only one I use. I've used Kensington's, I've used Best Foods. It's really your call. You can use light mayonnaise if you're worried about your fat intake, but since I usually eat this with oven fried zucchini spears or celery, it's not really all that bad. And then 1 cup non-fat Greek yogurt, or my favorite, Siggy's. Just technically like Icelandic yogurt. I put this in everything that I can, and I save the containers, and I use the containers because it's about 2.5 cups, and I can use that to measure vegetables, to measure chicken, for all kinds of things for recipes. They're super handy. You can also use it to store your fry sauce if you're using the last of your Greek yogurt. So now we have all of our ingredients in this lovely bowl. Remember, I'm going to add the stevia or monk fruit extract after I mix it all together. It's going to look disgusting at first. Actually, it's going to look a lot like mayonnaise mixed with ketchup. So I just give it a little bit of a stir with a spatula, and then I use a whisk. You can change up this fry sauce however you like to suit, you know, what you're using it for. Sometimes I will add chopped up relish and finely diced onions to use it like a tartar sauce on fish. Even though it's kind of weird because it has ketchup in it, I find that the horseradish makes it taste like shrimp cocktail sauce, and it works. So give it a taste. Yeah, it's tasting pretty good. This is very, very potent. So when you add this to your fry sauce, start with like 4 drops. Follow the recipe and use a teaspoon of powdered erythritol. That worked for me. But if this is all you have, I think it's like a drop is like a teaspoon or something crazy. It's pretty strong. Our zucchini fries have 4 more minutes in the oven. Yeah, that's perfect. So now we have our fry sauce. We have our zucchini fries going. Like I said, with the fry sauce, add more of what you like. More tomato. Oh, it needs apple cider vinegar. I almost forgot. It's missing that tang. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon. Apple cider vinegar is another thing that I just pretty much put in everything that I can. I add it to salad dressings. You can put a tablespoon in like flavored club soda, and it's almost like a cocktail. Sounds weird, but it's pretty good. That's what was missing because I didn't have enough ketchup. Anyway, this is my fry sauce, and I'm gonna serve it with these zucchini fries in just a sec. Thanks. Okay, so we're ready to serve our zucchini fries with our fry sauce. I forgot to mention the Worcestershire in the recipe, so just make sure you add the Worcestershire. It's in the recipe, but I didn't do it in the video. So, look at these beauties. They look so good, huh? And these are gonna be like a little mushy. They're not gonna be like oven fries because they're zucchini and they have liquid and moisture in them. And I'm okay with that. Like really, I just want a big bowl of some mushy stuff, some crispy stuff, all covered with delicious sauce. I've found success slicing zucchini pretty thin, like poker chip thin, spraying with olive oil, not tossing in olive oil, but spraying in olive oil, and then baking them at high heat in an oven for a long time, like 400 degrees for 40 minutes to an hour. And you can dip those in the fry sauce too, but just keep in mind you're gonna eat more fry sauce that way because you have less volume. I put the fry sauce in a blender bottle. That recipe fits perfectly in one of these size blender bottles, and then I just kind of drizzle it on top. And this is my Netflix and chill bowl. It's really tasty and I hope you enjoy it. Oh, you can also do this recipe with sweet potatoes, but they have way more carbs than zucchini. So just make sure you do it on a day when like you've worked out. Pro tip. All right. Also, another pro tip for these, you can broil them the last 5 minutes if it doesn't look like they're getting crispy or brown enough. Thanks.